Social media buzz, y'all. I want to thank everybody that's been rocking with the buzz. So the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef is getting really real, and it's time for us to talk about this on Social Media Buzz. So Drake is suing UMG for defamation of character. He also is accusing the music label of getting paid to push Kendrick Lamar music. UMG has moved to dismiss this Drake defamation suit. They said this just another misguided attempt by the Canadian rapper to just make his own self feel better. They said that he just mad because he lost against Kendrick Lamar. So let's attempt to talk about some of the earlier rap beefs that we had in our time in history of hip-hop or rap, R&B, whichever country. Pretty sure everybody got some type of beef somewhere.
While the idea of 50 Cent taking Ja Rule's career is a popular narrative, the Chawiki Kings, it's more accurate to say that the beef between the two rappers, combined with 50 Cent's rise to fame and Ja Rule's career trajectory, contributed to a shift in the music landscape where Ja Rule's star began to fade.
So let's go back really quick, like 16 years ago, okay, and see how did these lyrics play out. Because me personally, I remember more 50 Cent songs back then than I do Ja Rule, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you know what I'm saying? But I think 50 Cent's lyrics would actually smashed his career. See, people don't know, like, whatever, let's just get back to it.
Love is what you crave, so on your grave it's gonna read here live 50 who snitched on minutes.
My sweetheart, you soft in the middle. I eat you for breakfast, so why you don't back down?
I think that for real, 50 lyrics was just better. The music was just better. And I don't recall Ja Rule being a sore loser. I think he's still trying to keep going. He's still performing. You know, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong or right. But the bottom line is that it was another beef that made history. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B.
The beef between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, which peaked with a physical altercation at a New York Fashion Week party in 2018, stemmed from years of subtle diss tracks and social media jabs. But ultimately, both artists have seemingly moved on.
And I can actually say women are a little different from men, so I can understand that moving on, period. We mature faster than men. So let's listen to a little snippet of both of the diss records.
You gotta have real skill, gotta work for that. When I could just hop in the Porsche, you heard she gon' do what from who?
First thing out of your mouth when someone asks you about a Nicki Minaj feature is, she changed her version. Excuse me?
That you could talk it out. You could talk it out because it's not always rah 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 this, rah 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 that. Because we grown, unless you wanna take it to the rah rah this, rah rah.
The QB, I'm Nick Lombardi. Pull up in a space coupe, I done linked with Marty. I can actually afford to get a pink Bugatti. I don't wanna hear I'm acting different. Same lips that be talking about me is the same lips that be ass kissing.
Oh boy. So which one of them rappers you thought was the best? Because I'm not gonna judge my girls. I like both of them, okay? And it was sad when they started beefing. See, some beefs be sad, like one of the beefs we're going to talk about in this social media buzz. But if you remember, President Obama had already predicted if it ever became a beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
And the last one.
Too much fabric.
All right, so we had Drake versus Meek Mill. A lot of people were tweeting that to me. We kind of know the outcome of that. But if Drake and Kendrick Lamar got in a rap battle, who do you think would win?
Got to go with Kendrick. I'm just saying, I think Drake is an outstanding entertainer, but Kendrick, his lyrics, his last album was outstanding.
Excellent, all right.
Best album, I think, last year.
Thanks so much for your time, Mr. President.
You first here, Not Like Us. What do you think about that?
I think LA is different. I think LA culture, the West Coast is very territorial. I think that energy, when you can build the camaraderie within them, that you'll feel something here that you won't feel anyplace else. Hey, like the East Coast is not like that.
Right.
Like they're not like us. That energy. Yeah. Look, the lawsuit thing, I thought that was to make sure that didn't happen.
Wait, you talking about the Drake lawsuit? Yeah. To make sure what didn't happen?
That song didn't come on.
For Super Bowl?
See, look, sue Apple, right? Sue Universal.
Right.
And then have your attorneys contact NFL corporate and say, look, we don't want you guys to involve yourself in this this nasty lawsuit that's going on, and you guys are the biggest live sporting event. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're a part of the damages. Because you continue to put it on. Yeah, that's the way the lawyer said.
Damn.
It seems like, because they're a little more combative, you want to let your publicist talk for you when you're in situations like even the Drake thing. You could tell the lawyer wrote that statement instead of the publicist because he was being a little combative.
You know, I'm on the forefront, but people behind the scenes, that's who make up who I am. You know, I got family, I got my team, I got God. Simple as that, you know.
And you have been so consistent in the messaging and the focus, like you said, and you've always moved with integrity. So in a lot of ways, I feel like we thought we knew exactly who you were as an artist in a positive way. And then last year, it felt like you unlocked a whole new dimension for us. But that person, like you said, was always in there. But I'm wondering, do you still surprise yourself sometimes? Did you surprise yourself last year? Or was it just us, the fans, with our jaws on the floor, just stunned?
That's a good question. Surprise myself? Nah, I don't think I surprised myself because this, for me and for my partners that's been around me since 2005, 2006, like my brothers, they know my personality. They know my capabilities, even when it, wasn't presented to the public at first, right? So this is just like a revolving door of what I've been doing.
Even Kendrick Lamar had put out there that he know Drake was listening to his music.
What's going on? It's Kendrick Lamar. Right now you're logged on to goodfellowmedia.com. Y'all stay tuned. High power, top dog. Than I had 6 months ago with a whole nother demographic, of people listening to my music. Definitely going to capitalize off that. Shout out to Drake.
He reached out. How did that happen?
I sat down with Drake in Toronto a while back when I did my first show out there. He called me up, man. We had a few drinks, and he always said he was appreciative of my music. I've always been a fan of his music, and we've just been chopping it up since, man. And hit me up one day and say, you know what, handpicked, man. I want you to be on this tour.
Concerning the inner cities, the problem, the solutions, and furthermore embracing the youth. Both being aware that mentoring saves lives.
So what I have heard, and it's just a rumor, that Drake want the streets to validate him like they have validated Kendrick Lamar. But Kendrick Lamar is from Compton, one of the roughest cities, neighborhoods in the world, where you got Drake from Toronto. But guess what, y'all? Toronto people ain't no joke neither. See, just like Compton support Kendrick Lamar, Toronto support Drake. They had received some Kendrick Lamar concert tickets, and they decided to stay on Team Drake and not give them away. But y'all, let's listen to some of the fans that called in and said why you shouldn't give away them tickets in Toronto.
Take all the tickets that you guys have, place them nicely in a big pile of
What to do with these Kendrick Lamar tickets that we have? We're getting all types of suggestions from you. What do you think we should do?
So my thoughts are, we got to do one of two things. We need to take all the tickets that you guys have, place them nicely in a big pile of dog feces, and we need to light those things on fire, get a nice video, post that bad boy to Kendrick Lamar's Instagram and all his social media. Tag. This is what Toronto thinks of Kendrick Lamar. Either that, or we got to give Drizzy himself the tickets and let him use them however he sees fit in his next music video.
Oh my God.
In his music video?
His music video.
Morning at about 2 a.m., police were called to a shooting at the residence behind me here. When officers arrived, they located a male who was suffering from an apparent gunshot. That male was taken to hospital in serious condition. That person was working, apparently, as a security guard at the residence. He was standing outside of the gates in front of the residence when the shooting occurred. We have individuals who obviously performed the shooting who were seen in a vehicle. I do not have a description of the vehicle or the suspects at this time. Again, it's very early on in the investigation. I cannot speak to a motive at this time because it's so early, but as we get information, we will share it with you.
So allegedly, that is important to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, because they saying that this just so happened to happen at Drake Mansion the night Kendrick Lamar dropped. Now, times have changed where the people is picking up the pew-pews in these beefs. We seen this happen with Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur, and may they rest in peace.
The beef between Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G., fueled by accusations and a 1994 pew-pew fight, escalated the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry, ultimately leading to the tragic deaths of both rappers within a short time frame.
To be a player, but I white. We bust on bad boys, niggas life. Plus Puffy trying to see me weak, hearts I rip.
Because they some mark ass. Oh, y'all feel me? I hit them up, okay? So I actually can say we all got a conspiracy on what maybe happened to both of them great rappers. So we're going to move on from that beef, and we're going to send our prayers and our condolences out to their family. So Kendrick Lamar and Drake have two different personal lives, but the lyrics that Drake is not liking, and he's saying that is a definition of character.
I hear you like I'm young. You bet I never go to sell black one.
All on your face like what happened to Mike. Oh shit, it's all making sense. Make white.
All I know is that the beef been brewing up. And if you listen to the lyrics, Drake and Kendrick, somebody lyrics is just better. And in the comments, y'all can tell me which ones y'all think better. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know. You know what I'm saying? This is my culture. I know who I like to listen to, and I know who rap is rapping, and I know who making sense. But I'm not going to even put that off into this buzz. Because, see, everybody got their own opinion about both rappers, you know. But we support both rappers on social media buzz. But we do have our favorite. And if you listen to Drake lyrics compared to Kendrick Lamar lyrics, Drake's go a little bit like scary, like, huh? What you saying about Michael Jackson? What you saying about Prince? You know what I'm saying? These guys supposed to, you know, left here with natural causes. What you know, why you comparing them in the beef? You know, like, let's, you know, make this make sense. And then you got Kendrick on the other hand, like, uplifting his community, taking us to another level, making us want to go get that bag, you know. And you can argue with me on this if you want to. But when you listen to Kendrick Lamar, you have more motivation. You have more energy in your day to get stuff done. Other than listening to Drake stuff, and you like scared for him, the people he rapping about, like what you know, what you talking about, you know. So this is a reason why you can lose a rap battle, you know. Into your feelings, ego too big, you know what I'm saying, you know. And the Toronto people is big, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. And I know it's a few people over there want to be rocking that song, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar been taking jabs at Drake.
Big Crit Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, J Electron, Tyler McMillan. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder niggas. I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough.
Necessarily what you're saying about me, is the fact that you said it. Like, just in the sense of, like, you don't know what it does to me.
Whether you like it or not, you know you're going to know it comes from a real place. And it's going to feel unapologetic, not compromising, and it's going to feel me.
You know, and if you express, like, any form of discontent for me in a song and call me by name.
Both rappers live a very different life. Yes, Kendrick Lamar has been in a long-term relationship with his high school sweetheart, Whitney Alford, and they have 2 children together. A daughter named Uzi and a son named Enoch. Rumored that he dated Nitty Scott for a minute.
On the way over here because I was supposed to rock in like 15 minutes and I was still on the highway rushing over here, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't even think I'm gonna make my set. So I just kind of like took that adrenaline from when I got here and just like couldn't calm the fuck and just put all of that like angst into the performance and just kind of went in, and I had a lot of fun. I think that's what you do with all the performances. It's like you make it worth it, all the stress, all the travel, all the inconveniences, you know, it has to like not be in vain. So you make sure that you go to these platforms and you make it effective and you make your impact. That way it's like, at the end of the day, you feel like it's all worth it when you finally exhale.
Have you had a chance to get any like secret studio sessions or anything like that while you're working?
No recording, but Kendrick actually hit me up while he was out here and we were discussing working on a new record. So yeah, so we kind of started building on that, but we didn't actually get in the studio out here. So yeah. I'm not sure.
In between. You the black messiah wiping up a mixed queen.
Now Drake, on the other hand, has had a rainbow of relationships. Now, this is no judgment on this. Just have to be relevant in this social media buzz. It's impossible to give an exact number of women Drake has dated, as his dating history is largely private, and much of it is based on rumors and speculation. However, he's been publicly linked to several high-profile figures, including Rihanna, Serena Williams, Jennifer Lopez, and others.